You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey there, Days fans. Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got some really sweet news. You all know by now that Bill Hayes passed away at age 98, the actor who played Doug Williams. And the last scene we saw him in was just before Christmas 2023. And that scene was very sweet, as always. But now we've got this wonderful news that he's got more scenes coming on Days of Our Lives. I've got some info on when his last scenes will air and what's happening in them. Hey, this is Belinda from Soap Dirt, and I've got this great info for you and a really interesting tidbit about Steve Burton's exit from Days of Our Lives and the fact that it might not have gone the way we thought. All right, so Bill Hayes passed away January 12th, 2024, and we had last seen him on Days at the annual Horton Christmas celebration. He and Julie were there with the kids, the grandkids, great-grandkids, and then Bill passed away about 6 weeks after that scene aired. And understandably, a lot of fans were worried that that was the last we would see of the talented Mr. Bill Hayes as Doug Williams on the NBC soap. But now I do have some exciting news. It turns out Bill Hayes was filming up until November, which means we will see his last scenes in or around May sweeps. And his wife, Susan Seaforth Hayes, who plays his Days wife, Julie Williams, gave out some info about her husband's final scenes on the soap. And this is what I mean when I said it was sweet news, because what she said was so sweet. Susan revealed that in their last scenes that Doug and Julie talk about how much they love each other. And these are their final scenes ever for Days of Our Lives. She said that Julie asked Doug if she ever told him how much she loves him. And he says, no, you never did. And she said, what's funny about that is she and Bill say that same thing to each other in real life. So it's one of those art imitating life things. You know, Susan Hayes confirmed that she had a crush on much older Bill from the moment he was hired and stepped onto the set at Days of Our Lives back in the 70s. She was dating and I think engaged to another man at the time, and Bill was a single dad just coming off a divorce, and their real life love story sounds kind of soapy too. She broke up with her boyfriend, fell for this much older guy. She said his life was a mess, his house was chaos, and his kids were living on pizza. But Susan Hayes swooped in, helped Bill raise his kids. They got married in 1974. And then 2 years later, Julie and Doug got married on the NBC soap in 1976. And they joked about having just a handful of people at their small at-home wedding, but then 16 million people watched when Doug and Julie tied the knot. Also of interest is that they used their real life wedding vows for their soap wedding, for their first soap wedding. I think they married 3 times. And of course, that's super sweet too. They would have celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary this year. A few days after Bill Hayes passed away, Susan shared some sweet photo booth pics of them from decades back. And she wrote this: "To all of you who honored my Billy with a word of remembrance, a sense of personal loss, or even a tear, I thank you. You touched my heart by seeing in him the goodness and joy I experienced every moment of our wonderful marriage. May we all embrace life with the gusto of Bill Hayes and enrich it with grace and love." Very sweet. Very nice tribute to her dead husband. Chloe Lane actress Nadja Borland commented on Susan's post, "Susan, I love you so much, and you've been in my thoughts all week. Sending all my love." Stephen DeMera actor Brandon Barish said, "I've felt his presence reverberating in the halls and in the stage all week. True immortality. Sending you and your family so much love, Susan." And then last, Mary Beth Evans, who plays Kayla Brady, said, "He will inspire all of us for always." So I know a lot of us had to get out the tissues. I just had to get them out again when we heard that Bill Hayes died. But man, what an incredible life. He was 98 when he passed, at home with his loved ones around him. He was a Broadway star, a soap star, a dad, a granddad, a great-granddad, a teacher, an incredible husband, and an incredibly talented actor. All of us should live a life that rich. Rest in peace, Bill Hayes, and we will watch for you on Days in coming months. I will share specific dates on his final appearance when I have that info confirmed. Now, let's also talk about Steve Burton's exit as Harris Michaels. Here's the facts we already knew. Burton confirmed he wrapped filming at Days in December, and then he was rehired at General Hospital, where he will resume his role of mob hitman Jason Morgan, and he'll be on screen sometime soon. We know Steve Burton signed an initial 1-year contract at Days, but there was always a question mark around whether they would extend it, whether he was looking to extend it, and now we know some more. Steve Burton spoke to TV Guide and said he had no plans to leave Days. In fact, he said being back on Days was awesome and said he had a great time. He said it was great to go back to the place where he started his daytime career, because Days was his first daytime role, and from there he went to General Hospital. And the soap actor did say he wasn't going to give any details, but he said the door closed at Days and the door at GH opened. He also said things happened very quickly, and that's what, got him back over at Days, and he called it amazing how fast it happened. So what I'm hearing when you say the door closed at Days, that either that they told him they weren't going to renew his contract. I mean, that's not really a firing if your contract is up, but it is letting your contract lapse. So we do know that Burton's character, Harris Michaels, is shot sometime soon as part of the drug storyline, but we're not going to see the last of the detective until likely June. So even if he takes a bullet, don't think he's going to die. We've got no idea how they're going to exit Harris, but even if they kill him off, it's Salem, so dead is not always a permanent condition, especially not if Dr. Rolfe is around. All right, be sure to check back here often, and I will update you with Bill Hayes' last episode air date as Doug Williams, and once I have it, also Steve Burton's final air date as Harris Michaels. I'll share this with you as soon as I have the info. As always, please drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Did you have any idea that Steve was wanting to stay at Days and was invited not to? Kind of interesting. Definitely click subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure and come back soon, because we are here talking Days 7 days a week. This is Belinda from Soap Dirt. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.